One.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first Cyber AI Tech Talk community event by SecBlock. In today's interconnected landscape where information flows like electricity through the digital veins of the internet, the need for robust cybersecurity has never been more pressing. Cybersecurity is not just about building walls and fortresses, it's about understanding the intricacies of the digital landscape and crafting ingenious solutions to safeguard our digital assets. Thank you for being a part of this significant event. And we are confident that the knowledge and connections gained here will fuel your passion for cybersecurity excellence. I've listed the Discord community and YouTube channel where the recordings will be posted and relevant question and answers will be addressed. I'm Indy Diamond. I've been in this space for over a decade. I bring to the table excellent experience in end-to-end enterprise cybersecurity. My career started from building virtual labs, network node managers, to battling the national security attacks and breaches. As this event is only first set up for 60 minutes, let's take a deep dive into the agenda for today. So the way I have organized this event for today, we'll go into the introduction. What is the agenda? Who is the target audience? The data breaches and trends, cybersecurity domains, where AI and cybersecurity plugs in today's state, and navigating through the future, talking about some of the emerging trends and where everyone can see the shift happening and where we are headed to. That's the goal of this event. Now, why are we here? What is our mission? Why I wanted to bring this amazing knowledge to the table? So this is cybersecurity AI educational event. We are dedicated to revolutionizing the way we understand, protect, and shape the digital world. Our mission is to empower individuals and organizations with the knowledge and tools they'll need to navigate the dynamic landscape of cyber threats effectively. Not just that, but foster understanding the complex realm of cybersecurity and AI, providing accessible and comprehensive knowledge for learners of all backgrounds. Cultivating cybersecurity expertise for new generation of cyber professionals, equipping them with the skills and mindset necessary to combat ever-evolving cyber threats. Embracing the relentless pursuit of innovation, we showcase the latest advancements in AI and cybersecurity. Champion ethical AI use. We all know what's happening with the AI platforms, open source platforms, no protection of data, and everyone is getting sued, as you have seen on the news. We emphasize the importance of responsible and ethical AI deployment. We instill ethical considerations surrounding AI development, ensuring its application is fair, transparent, and accountable. Our event is committed to making cybersecurity AI education accessible to all. In the fast paced world of cybersecurity, learning is a lifelong journey. We inspire continuous education and self improvement among our participants, encouraging them to stay updated with the latest advancements and remain vigilant in safeguarding digital assets. Join us on this transformative journey as we unite in commitment to empowering minds, securing futures through the power of cybersecurity AI education. Who is the target audience for this event? I am pretty sure like a lot of people, signed up for this event, but to have a greater understanding of what's going on, the target audience would be tech professionals, new graduates. The reason? Because they have that foundational education knowledge that is required to understand some of the technical terms that will be used. And in defining the future, they're very familiar with cutting edge technologies and the increase in the market demand of this area. Now let's take a look at the latest breaches and trends. So I just went through Verizon investigation report. This is the latest one for 2023. If you can see, 83% of the breaches involve external actors. Their motivation is finance. So all the financial credentials. For 74%, we can see here are the social engineering attacks, errors, or misuse. 50% of social engineering attacks, protecting incidents, nearly double last year's total. I also wanted to take a pause and go through the latest data breaches of this year. The first one we'll talk about is MoveIt. As you all know, it's a data transfer, file transfer tool. It has impacted more than 200 organizations, up to 17.5 million individuals as of July 2023. T-Mobile in early January 2023 discovered a malicious actor gained access to their systems last November and stole personal information, including names, emails, and birthdays, from over 37 million customers. ChatGPT has subjected to public discourse because of its revolutionary AI capabilities, but the company faced a setback in March when they announced a data breach. Google Fi, piggybacking T-Mobile's network, also went through the breach. Here are some of the latest security trends that I've put together. As news of data breaches, ransomware, and hackers become the norm, continuous technological development necessitates a corresponding movement in cybersecurity practices. The top cybersecurity trends for 2023 are artificial intelligence potential, AI attacks, as AI has played a crucial role in the development of automated security systems and autonomous threat detection. It is also used to construct illegal malware, intelligent malwares, and attacks to get beyond the most up-to-date data security measures. The new target is mobile. In 2019, cybersecurity trends predict a significant increase, 50%, in mobile banking malware and assaults, making our mobile devices a target for hackers. A smartphone virus or malware may be the focus of cybersecurity developments in 2023. Cloud may be vulnerable as well. As more organizations migrate to the cloud, security measures must be reviewed and upgraded on a regular basis. Configuration management is very well required. Even the cloud platforms as Google or Microsoft are very well equipped with security on their end. User error, harmful malware, and phishing attacks continue to be a key source of blunders, malware, and phishing attacks. Technology risk, IoT on a 5G network. We all love automated devices, the elevators, the switches, the cameras. IoT and 5G architecture is a relatively new technology in the market, and it needs an extensive study to identify security flaws and make the system safe from external assault. Ransomware with a specific target. Targeted ransomware is another critical cybersecurity problem. Industries, particularly in industrialized countries, rely largely on specialized software to manage their everyday operations. These ransomware targets are more targeted, such as the WannaCry ransomware assault on NHS hospitals in England and Scotland, which infected over 70,000 medical equipment. The ransomware often threatens to reveal the victim's data unless a ransom is paid. So what is cybersecurity? Let's take a very high level dive, nothing to go through the bookish knowledge here. These are the practices, technologies, and measures implemented to protect digital systems, networks, and data from unauthorized access, damage, or theft. The aim is to safeguard the sensitive information such as personal data, financial records, intellectual property, trade secrets from falling into the wrong hands. Here are some of the key reasons why, which I'm pretty sure you all are very well aware of. Preserving national security. Cybersecurity is critical for protecting infrastructure and systems that underpin a national's defense, communication, energy, and financial sectors. Next, trusted digital transactions. We all love e-commerce, right? So as online transactions and e-commerce become more prevalent, cybersecurity is essential to establish trust between customers and businesses. Consumers need confidence that their financial information is secure during online transactions. Many industries and jurisdictions have specific cybersecurity regulations and compliance standards. Adhering to these requirements is vital to avoid legal liabilities and penalties, such as HIPAA. A record, if exposed, is $456. Now, if you have about millions of records, you can see what the penalties would look like for all the healthcare companies that are out there handling the HIPAA data. Cybersecurity protects sensitive information, medical information from unauthorized access or disclosure. Securing these interconnected devices, that is the IoT, is crucial to prevent potential vulnerabilities and protect user privacy. This is my favorite slide. I do want to talk about the cyber threat landscape that is trending right now. Everyone wants to talk about Instagram trends. So I wanted to create a good looking slide for this threat landscape. And if you can see, the main one here in the center is ransomware. Ransomware continues to be a prevalent and highly disruptive threat. Cybercriminals use malicious software to encrypt victims' data and demanding a ransom for its release. There is an increased concern about cyber attacks on critical infrastructure, including energy, transportation, healthcare systems. Such attacks can have severe consequences on public safety and national security. With the adoption of AI and cybersecurity, there is a growing concern about AI-powered attacks that could automate and optimize the exploitation of vulnerabilities. Phishing attacks. Phishing remains a favorite topic and a tactic for cybercriminals. They use deceptive emails, messages, or website links to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information such as login credentials or financial details. Fileless malware is a type of malicious code that operates in memory, leaving a little to no trace on the infected system's hard drive. It evades traditional security solutions, making detection and remediation challenging. The proliferation of IoT devices presents new attack surfaces. Inadequate security measures in these devices make them susceptible to exploitation by cybercriminals. Cybercriminals are increasingly targeting the supply chain to infiltrate organizations indirectly. By compromising a trusted vendor or service provider, attackers gain access to their clients' networks and systems. APTs, Advanced Persistent Threats. APTs are highly sophisticated and persistent cyber attacks, typically orchestrated by nation-state actors or organized crime groups. They stealthily infiltrate networks, remain undetected for extended periods, and strategically target specific assets. Zero-day vulnerabilities, for which no patch is available, can be exploited by threat actors to gain unauthorized access to systems and networks. Now let's talk about cybersecurity domains. How does it look like from end to end? Some of you might be working in one domain or the other, and there's not always visibility across what's happening on the other side of the table, right? Like what is the person network security working on if you are working in data domain, right? So the five punch domains that um, I see cybersecurity mainly transacts in are identity and access management. That involves controlling who has access to sensitive information. GRC, governance, risk, compliance, which focuses on creating policies and procedures to ensure that an organization is following best practices and regulations. Data security, it's my favorite, which involves protecting sensitive information from unauthorized access or theft. Network security involves securing an organization's network infrastructure and preventing cyber attacks. Fusion intelligence and forensics, which involves analyzing data and identifying potential threats before they can cause harm. Now we will go one by one into each one of them so that there is some type of guidance that can lay back on the AI side of the house that's going on within each of the domain. Identity and access management basically facilitates the management of electronic or digital identities. It's a way of controlling access to critical information. IAM can be applied in different forms. SSO, who were not familiar with that, it's called single sign-on. It's an authentication method that enables users to securely authenticate with multiple applications and websites by using just one set of credentials. For example, if you log into a Google service, such as Gmail, you're automatically authenticated to YouTube, AdSense, Google Analytics, and other Google apps. MFA, we all use it on our daily basis. Multi-factor authentication is a multi-step account login process that requires users to enter more than just a password. For example, along with a password, you might be asked to enter a code or a secret question or scan a fingerprint. PAM, who are not from enterprise architecture or do not work for the corporations, it's privileged access management that safeguards the identities with special access beyond regular users. Um, the main goal of IAM is to see how the individuals are identified in the system, how the roles are identified in the system, what privileges does that role has, how roles are assigned to individuals, adding, removing, updating individuals and their roles in the system is highly controlled in this program. Governance, risk, and compliance, also called as GRC. I will refer to the program or the framework as GRC. Um, the GRC framework refers to the strategy used to oversee the implementation of governance, risk management, and compliance processes across an entity. Governance is basically implementing security controls across your organization, requires the development of relevant policies and guidelines to oversee each of the processes. Risks are internal or external, and risk management ensures that risks across IT assets are promptly identified. Upon detection, the GRC framework must stipulate appropriate mitigatory actions. Considering the differences in control requirements across different regulatory frameworks, you must implement processes to address each compliance requirement and keep sensitive assets safe. Some of the common GRC frameworks that are listed here are HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. It's a federal law that requires the creation of national standards to protect sensitive patient and health information from being disclosed without patient's consent or knowledge. I believe everyone is aware of this. We go to a doctor, we are signing those forms that is basically taking our consent for any of the information that needs to be released to another doctor or another lab. So that's what those forms are for. PCI Digital Security Standard, PCI DSS, is a set of internationally recognized security standards that exist to protect the sensitive data associated with payment accounts. CMMC, Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, is a security framework most DoD, Department of Defense, contractors will implement in the coming years. It's overseen by the Office of Under Secretary of Defense for Acquisitions and Sustainment. NIST, which is not listed here, but is a non-regulatory government agency that develops technology, metrics, and standards to drive innovation and economic competitiveness at US-based organizations in the science and technology industry. Recently, they have released the AI risk framework as well. So if anyone is interested, feel free to go in and take a deep dive into that. I will be having a following session, which will go into analyzing and evaluating the AI risks that we can see upcoming in the industry. So next is data security is the process of safeguarding digital information throughout its entire life cycle to protect it from corruption, theft, or unauthorized access. Now, what is the whole life cycle, right? The life cycle from extracting the data and transmission, the data storage to the point when the data is not required, is it destroyed or not? So all the data has to go through some level of data security controls depending upon each and every state and industry regulation. Industry and state regulations like CCPA, which is California Consumer Privacy Act. Everyone is very familiar with GDPR. It's European Union's General Data Protection Regulation. HIPAA, we just talked about it. PCI, the payment card industry data. Payment card industry, yes. The financial data that's out there, our credit card information. We don't want our credit card information, our personal information out to be there, right? So what are some of the data security controls that are very prominent in securing our data? First is encryption. Now, what is encryption? It is the use of algorithms to scramble the data and hide its true meaning. Encrypting data ensures messages can only be read by recipients with appropriate decryption keys. Data erasure there will be occasions in which organizations no longer require data and need it permanently removed from their systems. Data masking enables an organization to hide the data by obscuring and replacing specific letters or numbers. Data resiliency. Organizations can mitigate the risk of accidental destruction or loss of data by creating backups or copies of their data. Data backups are vital to protecting information and ensuring it is always available. This is particularly important during a data breach or a ransomware attack. Let's jump into network security. This is my favorite. I know most of the traditional way of doing network security is firewalls or having VPNs, but I'm not going to talk about the traditional ways because that's not what we are here for. We are here to focus on what's happening now and where are we going, right? Even a lot of the traditional security setup isn't in place today, but the organization, the enterprises that I have worked with or I'm actively working with, they are changing their landscape. They're going more towards the models of SASE, models of zero trust. We will talk more about that in this section. So what is network security? It is to protect your network and data from breaches, intrusions, or other threats, right? NGFW, if you see on the left-hand side, it means next generation firewalls. We're not familiar with the term. So what is NGFW? NGFW is traditional firewall functionalities combined with additional security features, such as intrusion prevention, deep packet inspection, and application awareness. They offer more granular control over network traffic and help detect and prevent sophisticated attacks. SASE, so this whole big picture in the middle that you can see here, is a reference architecture, not from any of my clients or companies that I work with. SASE is a cloud-based network security model that integrates network security capabilities with wide area networking technologies. Zero trust architecture, I have a very good slide after this for zero trust. It's one of my favorites. Zero trust is a security model that assumes no user or device should be automatically trusted, even if they're inside the network perimeter. It enforces strict access controls, multi-factor authentication, and continuous monitoring to validate authorized users and devices. SDP, what is SDP? Software Defined Perimeter is a security framework that dynamically creates secure encrypted connections between users and resources regardless of their location. It reduces the network's attack surface and enhances security by hiding resources from unauthorized users. Cloud security. We are all in cloud today, right? As organizations increasingly adopt cloud services, cloud security has become a critical aspect of modern network security. CASBs, cloud access security brokers, and cloud native security tools help secure data and applications in cloud environments. EDP or EDR, endpoint protection. Traditional antivirus solutions have evolved into more comprehensive endpoint protection platforms and endpoint detection and response systems. These solutions focus on real-time threat detection and response on individual devices. NBA, not the basketball, but the network behavior analysis. NBA solution monitors network traffic and user behavior to detect abnormal patterns and potential threats. They can identify insider threats and advanced persistent threats, APTs, that I've referred in the previous slides, that may bypass traditional security measures. MTD on the right-hand side, if you see, is the mobile device security. As mobile devices continue to be essential tools for remote work, mobile device management, and mobile threat defense solutions have become more crucial for securing endpoints beyond traditional computers. This is my favorite. I don't have it listed here. It's container and microservices security. As we are having our builds more cluster-based and containers, the DevOps pipelines with the rise of containerization and microservices architectures, security measures are required to protect these dynamic and distributed environments. It's important to know that the security landscape is continuously evolving and new threats and technologies will likely emerge beyond my last update. Therefore, staying more informed about the latest trends and best practices in network security is crucial for organizations to maintain a robust and effective security posture. As I mentioned, ZTNA, Zero Trust Network Access, is my favorite. What is Zero Trust? It uses strict identity verification for every account, person, or device that requests network access, irrespective of whether they are located inside or outside the boundaries of network perimeter. The zero trust model considers each request as a breach and verifies as it came from an open network. Irrespective of where the request comes from or what assets it accesses, every request is thoroughly authenticated, authorized, and scrutinized for anomalies before granting permission. It applies the least privilege access principles to reduce the key threat landscape. Some of the principles that we can see here are verify thoroughly, grant least privilege access, assume breach. This is far from traditional concept of securing perimeters around private networks using endpoint-based controls such as approved IP addresses, ports, B2B connections, to recognize a list of approved applications data and our users that are trusted. The identities represent here the users, services, systems, or remote devices. Whenever an identity request access permission, verify and secure the identity with robust authentication across your digital landscape. Access must be compliant and abide by the latest least privilege access policy. In here, you can see the devices on the right-hand side. So once a user gains access to an enterprise asset, the data can transfer to a host of devices from on-prem workloads to cloud servers and corporate systems to vendor devices. As this distributed data creates a widespread attack surface, organizations must monitor and implement device health and compliance before granting access. So now you know what I mean by zero trust being really managed as a breach. Applications and application programming interfaces, APIs, can be traditional on-prem, modern, cloud-native workloads, or SaaS applications. Organizations must enforce controls and technologies to confirm proper in-app permissions, check for anomalous behavior, monitor user actions, and authorize appropriate configuration options. The data organizations must shift from perimeter-based data protection to data-driven protection. Use intelligence to categorize, label, and encrypt data and control access based on organizational policies. IT infrastructure, including on-prem servers, virtual machines, or containers, are prime targets for cybercrime. Organizations must rely on telemetry to identify attacks and vulnerabilities, automatically restrict and block abnormal behavior, and implement the least privilege access policy. The network organizations shouldn't trust users and devices just because they are on internal network. Implement network controls to improve visibility, prevent threats from spreading across the network, employ end-to-end encryption, real-time threat detection, and network microsegmentation. The last domain we'll talk about is cyberfusion and forensics. Now, this is a very simple slide. What is a cyberfusion center? I'm pretty familiar. You would think you're pretty familiar with a NOC, like a NOC, network operating center, compliance SOC, that's monitoring, security operations center, threat intel driven SOC. Okay, we added more tools to do the monitoring, threat intel tools. Integrated SOCs brought all the SOCs together, security operations centers together that had integrated detection, incident response, forensics intelligence, and vulnerability functions. But what is Cyber Fusion Center? This is one of the latest ones that I built right before COVID for a very big company. Um, so what does a Cyber Fusion Center mean? It is more advanced than a traditional SOC. It incorporates detection, threat hunting, response, security automation, and threat intelligence operationalization into one single unit. Essentially, a cyber fusion center is built to develop collaboration between different teams within an organization, such as IT operations, SecOps, DevOps, and others to boost overall readiness and response to threats. Like this fusion center that I built, we even incorporated IoT SOC in it. And it was pretty cool because it covered all the manufacturing facilities and targeted all the different devices that were in the manufacturing facilities as well. So there were totally two different SOCs operating under just one fusion center. I was able to have a hybrid model of team that was global, and it could be um, staffed 24 by 7 by in different time zones. So one team was in, Asia, EMEA, and United States as well. So threat intelligence allows security teams to contextualize insights into malicious activities and meaningfully orchestrate cybersecurity operations across the network. Threat detection in a timely manner is the primary factor in building a robust defense. Cyber forensic teams can use the intelligence collected in cyber fusion platforms to automatically validate the malicious behavior of the threats. Threat analysis, threat response is responding to the threats as quickly as possible. That's the most significant concerns of security teams. Now, where are we headed towards with AI and cybersecurity, right? That's my next section. I will be talking about the rise of AI and defensive cybersecurity and how it can be leveraged in different domains for folks who are focusing on getting into the space of cybersecurity and AI combination, which is, I feel, and I can vision this as the next wave of jobs and the tech career would be upcoming. So here you can see I've put this slide together. What is the rise of AI in defensive cybersecurity? So AI cybersecurity defense refers to the use of AI and ML technologies. AI-driven cybersecurity defense solutions leverage the power of AI algorithms to process vast amounts of data, identify patterns, and make real-time decisions to protect against advanced and evolving cyber attacks. Now, what are the key components when we talk about AI cybersecurity defense? The first one here is threat detection and anomaly analysis. AI algorithms can analyze network traffic, system logs, user behavior, and other data sources to identify anomalies that may indicate potential security breaches. ML, machine learning models, can distinguish between normal and abnormal patterns, helping to detect unknown threats. Behavioral analysis. AI can learn and understand typical user and device behaviors. We all know that. What is AI doing right now, right? Enabling it to identify unusual activities that may signify unauthorized access or malicious intent. Predictive threat intelligence, that's actually very hot right now in the market. AI can analyze historical data and patterns to predict potential cyber threats, allowing cybersecurity teams to proactively strengthen their defense and prepare for emerging attacks. Automated incident response. AI-driven cybersecurity defense can automate incident response processes, enable faster and more efficient responses to security incidents. Automated incident response can isolate affected systems, apply patches, and implement remediation measures to contain threats. How cool is that? AI enhanced endpoint protection. AI-powered endpoint protection platforms and endpoint detection and response solutions can identify and respond to threats at the endpoint level, protecting the individual devices from sophisticated attacks. Network traffic analysis. AI can analyze network traffic in real time, detecting malicious activities, intrusions, and suspicious patterns that may be missed by traditional signature-based systems. UEBA, user and entity behavior analytics, can be used to monitor user behavior, and identify deviations from normal patterns, helping detect insider threats and credential misuse. AI-driven threat hunting can assess inactivities by automatically searching for IOCs, indicators of compromise, and analyzing large data sets to uncover hidden threats. AI-enabled security analytics can analyze and correlate data from multiple security sources, providing security analysts with actionable insights and enabling them to make faster and more informed decisions. Now let's go into navigating into the future. What are the emerging trends and opportunities that are upcoming and are already existing in the market today? So I've put together some of the latest opportunities that I feel are very helpful for folks that are, say, in network security, but they want to tap into the AI space to secure their future. Similarly for cybersecurity analysts, right? Now you're not just sitting and correlating any attack or any IOCs that are coming in to point out the false positives, right? So AI cybersecurity analyst can focus on AI/ML techniques to analyze vast amount of data and identify potential security threats. They work on developing and fine-tuning AI models to detect anomalies and patterns indicative of malicious activities. So see how that changed? Like instead of just looking at certain threats and IOCs or getting the feeds in the TTPS, you're focusing on building those models. So that is an add-on that has gone into the job description, right? The job title as well. Similarly, for a threat intel analyst, this role will gather and analyze threat intelligence data to identify emerging cyber threats and vulnerabilities. AI is often used to process and analyze large data sets quickly, providing real-time threat intel to security teams. Security data scientists, they will be working on building AI models, algorithms that can predict and prevent cyber attacks. They apply data science techniques to analyze security data, identify trends, and develop predictive models to improve cyber defense and strategies. Incident response specialists, they will be responsible for developing AI-driven incident detection and response capabilities. They create playbooks and workflows to automate incident response processes, enabling faster and more effective reactions to security incidents. AI malware analysts would specialize in AI cybersecurity. They will use AI tools to analyze and dissect malware code. They develop AI-based techniques to detect and counter new and advanced malware threats. Network security engineer with AI emphasis. Network security engineers would focus on AI, leverage AI-driven solutions to secure network infrastructure and identify potential vulnerabilities or breaches. AI ethical hacker, penetration tester. These professionals will use AI techniques to simulate cyber attacks and test an organization's defenses. They identify weaknesses in systems and applications that AI can potentially exploit. You see how the AI got added into the penetration testing now. Your portfolio has expanded, right? AI security architect. AI security architects will be designing and implementing AI-driven security solutions. Now, just like I referred back to AI NIST risk framework, right? That would be one of the starting points for a security architect to kind of like take a look back at it and go through the different areas and domains and the risks that are highlighted. But I have another advice for all the architects out there as well that I will be pushing at the end of the presentation. So the security architects will work closely with cybersecurity teams to integrate AI technologies into existing security infrastructures. So, to pursue a career in AI cybersecurity, a solid foundation in cybersecurity fundamentals and a strong background in computer science, data science, or related fields are essential. Many roles also require knowledge of programming languages, AI/ML frameworks, and hands-on experience with AI tools and technologies. What is the conclusion of this presentation? So, the combination of cybersecurity and AI is a powerful tool in protecting against cyber attacks and identifying potential threats. So, not just seeing AI as a threat, but AI is also very helpful on the other end. That is the cybersecurity defense. It can be leveraged to the point where the faster and accurate returns are possible with AI. Demand staying up to date with the latest advancements and best practices in the field. That's why I brought the best practices, the latest news on breaches, the new opportunities that are coming up, the role involvement in cybersecurity space along with AI. Um, so, exploring resources such as online courses, attending industry conferences, and networking events like this is very helpful to educate yourself so that you have a path and an understanding, like a North Star, where you want to go and where are you headed, right? Some of the resources for further exploration include cybersecurity and infrastructure and security agency, CISA, the NIST, and the industry-specific organizations such as the International Association of Computer Science and Information Technology. Now, the next upcoming events, I am partnering with Healthcare First Associates. We will have a speaker from that company and myself to talk about data privacy in the healthcare space. With that being said, I will be taking the questions and answers in the chat. I have the Discord group organized to have a community in place so that we are connected together and I can help wherever I can. I will be producing more events upcoming shortly. One event per month is my goal because it does take time to put all the data together and all the equipment and set up just time aside to host these events. But I do want to come up here and help everyone, as many people as I can, to evolve and to navigate to their future. So, with that being said, I will be signing off and I will get back to your comments and questions in the chat and whatnot. Thank you.